3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Toon Clash. We are in the final round. This is
Let's get it.
this is the Boondocks versus Rick and Morty
Yes.
for our final round of the Adult Swim bracket.
Yes. Ebony and Ivory, black and white, all day versus. Let's go. Me against 4 people. Oh god.
How do you know which way it's gonna go?
I don't. That's what's fun.
I mean, I don't either.
I'm a quarter white, so that means I'm a quarter right in all the times. Whatever. Okay, yeah, let's get this party started then.
So yeah, these both of these are really excellent shows.
And it's kind of like this is sort of like the whole Avatar versus SpongeBob thing that we knew was gonna happen, sort of. I had like a big feeling, like, oh yeah, of course.
No, I feel this one is maybe is a bit more even because SpongeBob has the baggage of like all its other seasons that people don't really enjoy. Whereas Avatar was like a contained thing. Where this is Rick and Morty. It has like some episodes that are like, why are you doing that? And then Boondocks has the 4th season.
Yeah, true.
Which they're almost even in the amount of seasons they have. Rick and Morty has his 4th season going on right now.
At the moment.
Yeah.
And so it's like 13.
Who knows for how long?
Yeah, okay. And then like Boondocks had like 13 episodes per season. Was it like 20? I can't remember now.
I don't remember how many Boondocks was per season.
Yeah, probably.
So would you say Rick and Morty is more hit or miss? Like that we can immediately jump into the discussion, because I feel like with season 3 there were a few episodes at a time that weren't that great, but then it immediately picked back up again.
Yeah, because I feel like the first 2 seasons are like really tight for Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Yeah, it only had a few episodes that I didn't quite enjoy that much. But it's very consistent while also remaining like a style of writing that sort of changes over time. Like the comedy in the show isn't the same with every episode. Like sometimes they'd have a segment like Get Swifty. Sometimes they'd have the Pickle Rick thing, but that's like few and far in between. Sometimes they have like a running joke throughout the episode, but usually it's just whenever they feel like making a joke, they'll make a joke. But it more so comes from like the character interactions, which they prefer over the comedy.
Rick and Morty's almost like each episode is almost treated like a short film where it kind of has its own tone and its own structure and its own. They have the freedom, like from episode to episode, to do whatever works best for what they're trying to accomplish with that episode. Where the Boondocks, on the other hand, clearly has like a message and a tone and a consistency, and it's building on that message and on that kind of style of comedy, and just like its kind of identity was very much established right from the beginning, and it's just continuing to perpetuate that as it goes on. And that's not a bad thing, because that's one of its biggest strengths.
Yeah, but both of those
2 different concepts.
Yeah, both of those points like are playing to each series' strength.
Right.
But the man.
Because it's because like you got to.
It's really hard.
But because like there's like a lot of good stuff in like both series so far. So like you just mix and match, like, okay, so comedy wise, there's a lot of stuff in Boondocks in those first few, like, and to me personally, the first 3 seasons of Boondocks, there's always like something that makes me laugh like really hard, or at least chuckle hard. And Rick and Morty, there's some stuff that like makes me laugh, but it makes me like, just more of like a giggle, like, okay, that's funny. Then there's some things that make me laugh really hard. But then like on the flip side, you go with like, like Rick and Morty, like it's obvious that it's more creative because you can do anything with like portals and aliens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little refresh. But then like Boondocks, they have like little things they're able to do, like, oh, they're fighting hell creatures. They're fighting like, like various people in real life are dealing with ignorance, and it's just like, do you prefer a more grounded sense of stakes, or do you prefer more like outlandish, like universal thing? And then like it's just because like again, this is a hard thing to do, so it's just like I'm looking at like all the variables, like character wise, I guess like if I would say character wise, there are a lot more people in Boondocks I like as people than like I would say Rick and Morty then, because like because it's like, okay, I like Huey as a person. I like you know, Granddad when he's doing stuff. You know, Uncle Ruckus is hilarious, even though he says all this foul crap. And it's just, you know, there's a bunch of stuff like that. And then like Rick and Morty is like, okay, you know, Rick and Morty themselves, they're likable. And then, you know, Summer's cool. And then, you know, Jerry, and then the mom, and like their other characters and stuff like that you just like mix and match. So it's just, I'm just looking at all these different variables, comparing and contrasting like what works better for me and what works better there. So like, that's just, it is difficult though.
They killed my favorite character in Rick and Morty, so now I have no one to look forward to.
Oh damn!
Freaking Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman. Yeah,
that was great.
We killed Birdman last episode.
Oh yeah!
Oh, we did. There we go.
You're welcome. I'm here for 15 more minutes before the show's over.
What's the rapper in Boondocks?
Which one? There's like several. There's Gangsta-licious or Gangsta-licious? Thugnificent.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait, was he the one who moved into the mansion across?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who did that. You're just mad because your ass is old. The OK Boomer song. Yeah, he did that. Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, Boondocks have like a few characters where anytime they return, it makes it an even more fun episode. Whereas Rick and Morty has like a new character each episode. It's a very different tone.
Right.
Yeah. I like some of the songs that they have in Boondocks, like booty question.
Yeah, it's such a good song. No, there's such a bunch of like songs in Boondocks where it's just like, oh, well, that's actually a pretty solid rap. Like, or like they incorporate stuff like, or homies, hoes. Also,
I can't believe we haven't talked about the intro song. It's great.
I'm stone with the fuse. I am the visual. Yeah, like it is such a great song. Like it is such a great song for it. Yeah. So I would give intro song to Boondocks over Rick and Morty. Just like,
oh yeah, the intro is terrible to Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. It seems kind of like just let's get to the show intro. All right, let's go.
I wish they even with this new season, I was hoping they'd switch it up a bit, but they just replaced the visuals again.
Right, they just have clips from episodes.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I wonder when I'm going to see that.
The only thing I like about their intro is it kind of keeps you guessing. Where is it a clip from the coming season, or is it just a red herring clip?
Yeah,
that's true.
That is true.
But it don't got that Boondocks class, you know?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it seems like the Boondocks intro was like very inspired by like the Cowboy Bebop intro a bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I see that.
Boondocks intro is like on the same level as the one for Harvey Birdman to me, which I think is also great.
Harvey Birdman's intro was fucking fantastic.
It really was.
It was amazing. Yeah, that was spectacular.
We can't judge the show on that, and if anything, it makes you more appreciative of the show itself. The intro.
Yeah, I guess. Like right now, it's just like honestly, like I'd pull out like board and then just be like, okay, because like they're both such good shows. It's just like, okay, what does Boondocks have over Rick and Morty, and what does Rick and Morty have with this? So I already said like creativity, blah blah blah, animation style, I guess. Stylistically, like that looks, you know, everyone has their own different aesthetic, so it's just like, okay, that's like subjective. And then like, you know, choreography, like I would go to Boondocks just because they know how to do the martial arts and anime fights, and you know, Rick and Morty is more of a blaster and stuff like that. I mean, even though like the Pickle Rick thing was cool where he like fought all the rats and stuff. Yeah, this is hard shit. Man. Okay, so like I guess like because we look at it like what you think of as like, you know, the flagship show for Adult Swim, then I'd probably say something like Rick and Morty is more manageable because it's like, oh, everyone knows what Rick and Morty is now, like practically.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely their flagship show for this decade.
Yeah, for this decade.
If I were to say last decade when like Adult Swim was like really starting,
I would say Aqua Teen.
Aqua Teen for that.
Yeah, Aqua Teen for that.
It'd probably be more difficult to get someone into Boondocks when they're like, this looks like anime. And
yeah.
Also, this
really
is
not that.
You're trying to get me to watch anime.
Well, you also let's just be the one to say, "Oh, this is a black person show. I'm not gonna watch the show." Be like, say that. It's true. Like, oh, this is. I wouldn't understand the jokes for this, stuff like that. Like, yeah, Rick and Morty. Everyone can tell any joke from Rick and Morty, but Boondocks is like, yo, you remember that shit with the what you say, motherfucker? What did you just say? Yeah, so
it's very hard for us to like quote Boondocks.
Yeah, I can't really quote it without
you
saying
can't.
Socially castrated. So
yeah. This is so funny.
Man, all those
I can quote it all day.
down the drain. All right.
For a while, you'd probably get castrated for quoting Rick and Morty as well. So there you go.
Are you some kind of incel?
It's interesting how both shows are very different, but like for me, like my respect and interest in both of them is kind of like the same blend of like really good comedy, but also with like poignant, like emotional moments as well. Like both shows are mostly comedies, but they just have moments where it's like they very naturally transition into something that has a bit more like meat on its bone, something you digest.
Right, exactly.
Like that one time where like Huey was talking to Granddad about like, Granddad, what can you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do? And he says, you do what you can.
Yeah, like the whole thing with Huey's Law, when he's trying to put on the Christmas Story, and he has to like, he realizes you got to just like jingle keys in front of people's faces or they won't pay attention to like something that matters.
Yeah,
like that was some real shit. That was a great episode.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Like there's so many like things like that, or like when Riley paints that whole house and it's like a granddad and his, like wife and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like a great episode with the Mr. or Bob Ross like ripoff person. But it's like there's so many things like you can appreciate about each show. So I guess it just truly comes down to like, personal preference.
Are you a racist or not? Obviously.
Yeah.
Are you a racist?
Every time you incel or not?
Yes. Okay. If you're a racist incel, then I know who the fuck.
I don't think.
Do we have the show for you, Mr. Intellectual?
Do you have a high IQ?
Are you intelligent and a race realist? Well, let me tell you. I can tell you what to watch and what to avoid.
Do you think Rick and Morty is ever gonna get a spin-off? Because I feel there's a strong possibility it might.
The Wacky Adventures of Mr. Poopy Butthole. I've been waiting forever.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. Oh yeah.
Because I think Rick and Morty seems like the type of show whose legacy can be defaced very easily. Like look at The Simpsons. Sure. Look at The Simpsons. Look at Family Guy. Look at literally any adult animated show that's been running for a while, at least of the mainstream shows. I don't think that's gonna ever happen to the Boondocks, even with like the reboot. Because it's a very
it's only going to be like its 5th and 6th season, which isn't that much compared to the other adults shows.
I think Rick and Morty at the moment doesn't run the risk of that, but like as soon as they're gonna start milking it more, which they're already doing. They
ordered so many episodes for them to make.
Right.
I mean,
it's gonna be like interesting to see in a few years what we are gonna talk about when it comes to these shows. Because I don't know if like they're gonna say something similar to what happened to SpongeBob, that the first 3 seasons of Rick and Morty were so great, but then the rest of it is kind of hit or miss.
Right.
And that would be a shame, because as it stands, Rick and Morty, if they left it at this, I think would still be a very good show. So I'm just like thinking in the grand scheme of things, if it will hold up over time when compared to the Boondocks, which it already does right now.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, Boondocks, it's a great show. I don't see any network being like, we're going to run this for the next decade. It's like it's a show that's like gonna like do its thing and then bounce. That's just kind of, I don't see like, I can't see Boondocks season 30 running on Fox. It's just not the kind of show.
It's more of
that sort of thing.
It's more of an underground thing,
right?
This is where Boondocks 4th season really hurts it, because I see Rick and Morty as it hasn't done as much wrong as Boondocks.
That's true.
And like I also think that Boondocks, I mean, I don't know, there's some folks who might not want to watch it because of the a little bit of an axe to grind with the politics stuff, where it's more liberal, which is fine. But like Rick and Morty is pretty fucking neutral because it's like just science fiction, oblivion, multiverse nonsense.
Sure.
So I think it's got a broader appeal than Boondocks.
Yeah, because like I mean, Boondocks' strength is the fact that it is like, you know, making commentary and like saying these things that are kind of uncomfortable, but it's doing them in the veneer of comedy.
It's kind of weird because like some episodes have like have even more meaning now. Like the R. Kelly episode, with the recent stuff that happened with him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's but some people obviously
the future.
Maybe maybe it can. Well, it's just that, you know, Boondocks, that's like one of Boondocks' strengths. But of course, there are going to be people who just don't like. I'm just watching cartoons to chill. I don't want to think about, you know, political problems.
Yeah, because I can see the part where this come from. Because like again, like I'll use this whole thing on what I did with Boondocks. Just to be fair, like what I did with SpongeBob last Toon Clash is just like that 4th season was really trash. But also like looking at it like, you know, objectively, like, okay, so this is just Toon Clash for the best of Adult Swim, like the best that Adult Swim has produced. Now, there's a lot of stuff that Boondocks did that was great besides that 4th season. And it's like, okay, that's really great. But then like what Tom just mentioned, there is like that whole notion of just, sometimes you just want to sit down and watch a show and just like, oh yeah, that's funny. Like the stoner humor. And then like, the thing about Rick and Morty is like, it is very much the flagship of this like new decade, because it's just like, oh, there's just so much stuff they can do. Like you can either have that stoner humor, or you can have something where it's just like, oh shit, that's kind of hitting close to home right there, or you can just, you know, have a wild wacky ride. And now like comedy wise, personally for me, like I still think there's a lot of comedy in Boondocks. It just makes me laugh way harder, just for personal preferences. So like, because like again, like I'm a black dude, so there's a bunch of stuff in there where I'm just like, I've dealt with brothers like this before, so it cracks me the fuck up, like seeing them done, and so I can always show that. But then also there's like a bunch of stuff where it literally just hits me in my core, and I laugh at it. But then like, you know, with Rick and Morty, while I don't laugh as much, there is a lot of stuff that I can like, you know, appreciate, like, oh, there's this, there's you know, just so much stuff that we've talked about before, and it's just like, that's a pretty interesting thing here. So I guess it's just really coming down to like what is the better show, because like better show wise, I don't, man, see, like again, those first, like, okay, hold on a second, how many episodes of Rick and Morty are there right now? Like, is it like 13 episodes per season?
Let me look, because I think it changes per season.
There are 31 episodes at the moment.
31 episodes. Okay, so like Boondocks had about like 15 to 13 per their season.
Yeah, let me look at how many episodes there are. There are 55 episodes
of Boondocks. So the last quarter, like we're not going to count those last. So let's say 30. So like again, like 30, I would say episode wise, just for making me laugh, then I would give it to like Boondocks, just from matching.
Yeah, because the first 3 seasons were 15 episodes, and the 4th season was 10.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, so like so the first 45 episodes, first 45 episodes of Boondocks, like majority of them like make me laugh most of the way through. And then like with Rick and Morty, I would say like I wouldn't laugh as much, but I did like, you know, see what it is. So again, this is tough. This is just a tough thing.
I mean, I think I know which one I'm gonna vote.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
If we give the win to Rick and Morty, are we racist?
Yes, and I will say that. I will make it perfectly clear.
If we give the win to another old white guy, what have we done?
If we give the win, the win to Rick and Morty, we're racist and incels. It's amazing.
Incel racists.
There's a universe where Rick is black.
No, you shut the fuck up. Yeah,
I gotta go there. Fuck.
Oh my god. That's like some train shit right there.
They cursed him because he was right.
This is your idol. This is the one you're banking on right now. Like,
I'll show that.
Yes. Oh God.
Wait, is that real?
Yes.
Oh my God, I haven't watched that episode in a while.
I look like Uncle
Incredible.
Remus from Song of the South.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, you're helping your case, boy, big there.
Oh my God. What have we done? Okay.
I thought we were doing a bit, but
Is this decision time? We have to call it now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Rick and Morty.
Go first.
Oh, Saber, you said Rick and Morty?
Yep.
All right.
I again, the season 4 Boondocks it's what really puts it in a place where it just can't like win. When something is so terrible and such a drop in quality that it's like SpongeBob or Simpsons, where it's like despite the golden years, there's still the other side of the story, and you have to take that into account. Rick and Morty, its biggest problems to most people, it's an outside influence with the fandom and just asshole memes and shit. But like as a show on its own, like it holds up. It still holds up. I think it's timeless. It's fun. It's one of the most fun premises I've seen from a show. The characters are still fun to follow around and enjoy, whether they're being assholes or whether you're rooting for them or not. And don't get me wrong, I love Boondocks. I really do. Granddad is one of my favorite characters to come out of Adult Swim. But I just think that season 4 of Boondocks does so much damage to it, where it puts Rick and Morty ahead just by enough to give it the win.
All right. Who's next?
I think I'm voting Boondocks.
All right.
I prefer the animation in Boondocks, which is a light point, which I wanted to start out with. I think it's a very interesting concept to have this look like an anime, but it really like supports the urban aesthetic. I think some of the topics it addresses are very interesting and tackled very maturely. It's a very funny show. I love the characters. It makes me laugh a lot, and I want to like see these characters just interact with each other. It feels like a slice of life type show, and Adult Swim doesn't really have that to this degree, save for Boondocks. I think it's also more emblematic for the network. Like Rick and Morty, like I said, is like a juggernaut for them at the moment, but they're also milking it, and I think that's a shame. Rick and Morty is a very creative show, and I want to see it grow. I love both of these to almost the same extent, but I think Boondocks is more of the underdog. And as a show, as its own self-contained thing, I still prefer it over Rick and Morty.
Okay. Tom?
Look, both these shows are fucking great, but only one of them has sparked a social movement. Only one of them has brought a corporation to its knees. Only one of them brought us Szechuan sauce. Only one. And it wasn't the Boondocks. What does that tell you? What else can even be said? It's seriously though, it's a super hard choice. And like even like right now, I'm still kind of trying to figure it out because they're so close. Because they do different things, but they accomplish them very similarly. But I think I'm probably gonna have to give it to Rick and Morty just because it doesn't have a bad season yet. You know, and like maybe the next season of Boondocks could turn it around if like it's really a return to form. But just I can only judge on what exists right now, and so far, Rick and Morty is batting a little bit higher just in raw volume. So it's tough. It's tough. But I got as much as I hate I'm contributing to its social standing, and I'm gonna make all the fandom worse by giving it another notch in its belt. But I can't deny the facts. Szechuan sauce.
Yep.
Rick and Morty.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to vote Boondocks.
Nice.
Because, like Cosmo said, I prefer the animation in Boondocks. I think it looks really great. I also prefer the music in Boondocks. The music is a lot better. And it's just pretty much like when looking at like Huey and Riley, and the kid characters in the show, it's a black Charlie Brown. Yeah,
Literally.
Yeah, Because like in like with comic strips and stuff.
Charlie Black.
So that's one of the reasons I like it so much. So yeah, I got to give it to the Boondocks for me. So Jax, you got your tiebreaker moment.
Oh wow, I got my tie. Okay, let's see. Do I make my entire race hate me, or do I do? Let's see. Let's see. Well, first off, let me say this. All right. I agree with both sides of what you've all mentioned and stuff like that. Like the whole thing of just having like them back to back, like the whole social movement that Rick and Morty's done, and then like all the stuff that Boondocks has been, greatness and all that stuff. But it's like this is where I gotta like give props to like Rick and Morty for this sort of thing right here, is where again, it is like the flagship show of the new decade. Like it is something that like it's so mainstream. It is one of those shows that you go like, oh, when you think of Adult Swim, you think of Rick and Morty. So it's like such a thing where like you just like, oh, those characters, the shows, the creativity, all that stuff. It's like super creative. And so like Rick and Morty just has all of this going for it, and that really does speak for it. But Boondocks is just one of those shows that is just like animation spectacular, anime style phenomenal, choreography amazing, comedy made me laugh far harder during those four like compared to like 45 episodes versus Rick and Morty's like 30 episodes. They've all made me laugh. Like the majority of them have made me laugh really, really hard. The characters I like a lot more. Like honestly, Morty, it kind of annoys me a lot in the series. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up, kid. Like Jeffrey annoys me. Rick is just an asshole. That I'm just like, okay, I get it, and it's cool. The only one I like is like really, I like Summer a lot. Summer's cool, but then like there are just so many characters in Boondocks that just make me laugh when they appear. They do this, they do that, and yeah, no surprise here. I gotta give it to Boondocks just for all the stuff I just mentioned, and just I gotta like it's a great show in my opinion.
All right,
glad it came down to
There you
two,
go.
by the way.
It's done. You heard it here first, folks. We are not racist.
Well,
Also,
Rest in
Oh,
peace,
no,
John Witherspoon.
well, you and Saber voted for Rick and Morty, so
I know, but you covered for us. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, Paleo, good job on having Jax go last. So no matter which way that went, we couldn't be because the black guy decided what the win was. So good job. I saw what you did there.
Well, I know Jax wanted his tiebreaker moment.
Yeah, I never have it. I never ever have it. I had people going there for a second. People listening like, what? He said Rick and Morty. No, you know what happened? My image would have been on Google Images when you typed in the Boondocks characters for a certain characters.
But yeah, Boondocks wins the Adult Swim bracket.
Rest in peace, John Witherspoon. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So this is the last episode of this particular bracket, but we're gonna go on hiatus for a little bit before we do the next bracket, because the next bracket that I want to do is Disney. But Disney shows, because I know for some of us, me particularly, I haven't watched a lot, so I'm gonna have to watch a lot.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be so good.
So yeah, we're gonna go on hiatus for a bit. I'm not sure when we'll return, but be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'll put our handles in the description so you can follow us. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next Toon Clash. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Black Power.
Bye, y'all.